What is up, Red Revelation family? It is your boy Deuces. I am back once again, guys. Look, harsh reality. This guy is a decent sized YouTuber, and I respect his input or his insight on things, thinking outside the box 100%, guys. A lot of times, whenever you think outside the box, we actually get judged for that. As you know on this channel, guys, there is no judgment actually towards anybody. We enter with an open mind, guys. Anyways, harsh reality. If you guys have not heard of him, go check him out. Go subscribe to him. This video is actually called Trafficked. Does this fit Kiely Rodni's story? Question mark. I was watching it and I actually wanted to bring this to you guys to actually, well, share this story with you guys. Remember, approach with an open mind to what he has to say, guys. Anyways, love yourself, like yourself, be nothing but yourself. Like and subscribe, channel, it's highly appreciated. Without further ado, guys, let's jump right into the video.
Before I go on, I'm just going to say, look, this video is likely to be quite controversial, and certainly not everyone is going to agree. And like I've said multiple times on this channel, I don't expect everybody to agree. We can't always agree with one another, and if there weren't questions in this case, then I certainly wouldn't continue to look into it. For me personally, I have children, I have daughters, and this sits quite close to my heart. Now, I have looked over so much information regarding this case. I've got emails coming into me every single day in their abundance of people going over everything, and there will be information coming in that many people who are involved in looking at this case and are interested in this case are likely unaware that it even exists. And all we want is to get to the bottom of what happened to Kiely Rodni.
Look, guys, this case has always been actually kind of dear to my heart as well. As you guys know, I have a 18-year-old daughter and I actually have a 3-year-old daughter. Yes, that is quite ways apart, guys. But what I'm getting at here is everything just always looks so weird with this case, guys. From the truck stop footage of her being seen with the suit, her pants over the one-piece suit or whatever it was, bodysuit, I guess is what they called it, to the hoodie that she was supposed to be wearing but wasn't. Guys, does it not seem weird to you? And does it still seem weird to you? Because it does me. And why wasn't there more footage of Kiely Rodni stopping places? Why was it just them two places that actually caught her? And she wasn't even wearing the clothes that they said she was wearing. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
Now, I personally think, having looked over every single thing there is, and trying to make sense of many things that don't make sense, that the only kind of thing that makes sense is that this was a trafficking situation that potentially went wrong. And I'm going to explain.
And there's a lot of people who thought that, guys. He's not the only one. Anyways, guys, let's see what he has to say.
Why I come to that conclusion. Now, many people have said that Kiely Rodni died because it was just an accident. It was simply an accident. This was a girl who, she went to a party and subsequently got in a car and drove into a reservoir. And look, I'm not saying that's completely impossible, but what I am saying is, what is the probability of that? Now, Kiely was a smart girl. She was a smart girl. She was not someone who you would expect to make mistakes, but she could have. But would she have made such a catastrophic mistake without there being mitigating circumstances as to why that happened? Now, if she was plied with something, whether it be alcohol or whether it be drugs, then that would explain the catastrophic mistake that she made. But then it does mean that someone should be held accountable for that. Whoever supplied, whoever was the person who supplied these teenagers, these underage children, with these substances that would go on to kill a child.
Not only that, guys, look, you know how many doctors come forward saying that Kylie Rodney's autopsy was not fully done or was done totally wrong? Quite a few doctors came forward with that, guys. Has actually done autopsies themselves and knows pressure in lungs, what the lungs look like when water enters, all that stuff, guys, that a doctor should well know. And they've said it doesn't look right, anyways. And as far as drug tests and stuff goes, there was absolutely nothing. But then you hear stories that there was cocaine in her system and all this other stuff. Which one do you believe right now? That's what this guy's getting at. Look, we've thought about everything that could have happened, from the fire cam footage of a vehicle running into the water to everything else. Kylie Rodney was at this park. This wasn't her first rodeo at this park, so say it. She knew which way to go. But none of this stuff is being looked at because no one's coming forward with anything else. We don't even got pictures of the party. We don't even got pictures of the teenagers or adults at this party. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
Now, we've heard that the case is still ongoing, so that's why law enforcement won't answer any questions. And why is that? Is it because it is indeed ongoing? It is being investigated. So you have to ask the question as to, hold on a second, this was just simply an accident, what many people have concluded already, then why would they still be looking into it? Why would they be investigating? What is there left to investigate? Or maybe it is simply investigating who supplied the things that were supplied that would lead to this. And maybe we will see heads roll in the future. Now, in addition to that, you could argue that they're just keeping it open because it's easier to say it's open so they don't have to answer all these awkward questions that keep coming up. Like, why was there a vehicle reported to be being placed into a container? That's right, there was a call made to law enforcement that was reporting a vehicle being placed into a lock-up container, and it was said to be suspicious. We've heard that Nick, the tow truck driver, had seen and interacted with who he is adamant it's Kiely.
And see, that's another misunderstanding, guys. A lot of people says that he's a AAA driver and he was in a van. But then you have people say that he was actually, well, in a tow truck and he actually worked for AAA. But the guy said he had cameras in the AWP interview that faced the front of the vehicle and the rear of the vehicle. Where's these at? Because then he goes on to say that, well, she was asking me how to put her seatbelt around her belt loop. Guys, right there should have been a red flag, and he should have called the police right away. That's what should have happened, guys. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back into the video.
And he actually stated in an interview that the girl had introduced herself as Kiely. We've heard that Sammy, she spoke to Kiely at 12:36 a.m. when we can see that there is firecam footage that would dispute that claim. So it brings me now to why I feel that this could have potentially been a trafficking incident that went horribly wrong. Now, what do we know? We know that Kiely went to a party, but we have not been shown proof that this party, of the magnitude that we was led to believe this party was, existed. It doesn't exist. The proof of that does not exist. That is just the words of the last people to see Kiely. These are people who claim to be her friends, yet there is nothing to support that either. There are no posts, there isn't an abundance of photographs of them having fun together. There isn't, videos over social media showing these people interacting with Kiely. A straightforward.
No, I mean, all there really is, guys, is actually her in a swimming pool in an Instagram video or a Facebook video wearing the same bracelets as Kiely Rodni had. Now, guys, that goes to tell me somebody was obsessed with who Kiely Rodni was as a person. Why else would you have them bracelets? Wouldn't you have them bracelets before as well if you was, well, friends with her or trying to be like her? That tells me that she actually may wanted to be Kiely Rodni. She had the same bracelets on, guys. And whenever she got called out on it on the Facebook posting or the Instagram posting, she didn't like it one bit. So she took the bracelets off. This does not make sense. And I've said that from the very beginning. And I will continue to say it. Anyways, guys, let's see what he has to say.
Question and answer would lead Sammy Smith to not being able to confidently say in what capacity her and Kiely were indeed friends and for how long. And I don't need to go over the rest of that interview to point out the multiple issues that interview had. But Kiely would go to a party with her best friend Mags, and Mags would leave for whatever reason, but she would leave after turning up sort of 10-15 minutes later to leave Kiely with an older girl who, aforementioned, struggled to tell us in what capacity she was her friend, how long they'd been friends, that there is no proof that these were friends, and there is people who have come out and said that they were not friends. Sammy did not like Kiely, and they had a disagreement at the party. But they would apparently spend all night together, drinking, sharing drinks, going to the toilet together. But then Kiely, at some way along the lines, would get left at this party. Remember?
Yeah, see, all she said was they was actually drinking buddies, drinking friends. How long do they say? I've heard they've been friends for 3 years, and I've heard they've been friends only for a year. But why would you leave Kiely at this party? That makes absolutely no sense. That's the reason why I go to say that, well, she wasn't a true friend, guys. Plain and simple. Anyways, guys, let's see what he has to say.
Remember the party that there is no proof about? The fire cam footage doesn't even support the narrative of this party and the size of this party. The reports from the couple who was at the nearby campground, their reports don't support what these kids said about the party in terms of its size. And why is that important? It's important because in the abundance of people, if you believe their narrative, then it's very hard to pinpoint someone who has done something wrong because there is just so many people. We don't know who they are. There was people of all ages. There was even adults there. That's what we was led to believe. But look, Kiely would get left at this party that was deemed to be uncomfortable. Now, Sammy hasn't come out and said that they had a dispute and Kiely didn't want to leave. That's not what was said. She just said that she was going to get a lift, then she wasn't going to get a lift. They'd gone to the car, they'd arranged getting a lift together, but then she got out of the car and went and got a lift with somebody else. That somebody else has never come forward. We don't know who that was. We don't know who she got a lift with. And there is a clip within that interview when she's talking about getting a lift that she clearly goes to say that she is driving. Now, I believe that Sammy's vehicle was at that party all along, And I believe she drove herself home. Again, that's just what I believe. That's just me speculating. And I'm speculating based on that interview that Sammy was clearly going to say that she was driving. And she corrected herself. Now, would she be driving someone else's vehicle? I think she's more than likely going to be driving her own vehicle. So I believe that Sammy's vehicle was there all along, which then brings into question that why she would be trying to retain Kiely at the party, hanging about with her all night, sharing drinks, and then she would go on to leave her there. Now we're trying to think that Kiely would make such a catastrophic mistake that she would take a wrong turn, and we're talking about going left and not right, and then she would drive down into the water. Could she have been being chased? Would that be enough to make someone panic and lose their way? Because I don't think even a drunk person would forget their way, make a left turning or a right turning when they should have made the opposite. You know, even drunk people, when they drink and drive, they generally know the direction they're heading.
And another thing, guys, look. Her car, or supposedly her car, hit the water. She was following people, guys. There was people behind her. You go to tell me that nobody noticed a vehicle that's gone? And no one heard a thing about a heavy-ass vehicle, SUV, hitting the water and rolling? No one heard a splash? If this was so frantic that everybody was running, what happened? How come the cops haven't come forward with that? How come there's no proof of any party? And there wasn't 300 to 400 people leaving on the fire cam footage. There just wasn't. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back to the video.
It's just the manner with which they're driving. They might be speeding, they might be all over the place. But we're led to believe that a girl who was native to the area, she managed to drive her vehicle across difficult terrain without incident, but then she would come to a junction and take the complete wrong turn, then head down towards the water, bearing in mind that it would be bouncing about all over the place, and then she would drive herself into the water. Now, the fire cam footage is disputable. You know, we don't actually see Kiely herself on it. It's impossible. The camera's 2 miles away. But it does seem to show a vehicle entering the water. But it also shows that the vehicle pauses. It stops at various intervals during its journey. It also shows that there are other vehicles nearby, close by. And it would appear that when she left, the time that her vehicle left coincided with the mass exodus. So there would have been multiple cars leaving at the same time. We're led to believe that not one other car saw her enter the water. Now, I feel that this was a trafficking situation or an attempted kidnap, or perhaps it was a successful one. And it was much more of an elaborate plan, and there were other vehicles involved, and there was other people, which we can go into in more in depth, I suppose. But this rests on whether Nick is being honest, which I have not seen one thing to dispute Nick being honest. Nobody's come forward and said that he was lying. Nobody, you know, the guy is easy enough to find on social media for those who have the savvy to do it. I'm not going to say what his name is, but he is on social media and he doesn't look like he's the kind of person who would make this up. They are a respectable or seemingly respectable couple. So what have they got? What skin in the game do they have? Because the only skin in the game they can have is either to try and be covering up what really happened or to simply be telling the truth.
So my question to all this, and where I come in to kind of not knowing what to actually take from what you just said, is who's the body that was in the vehicle? So are you saying there was absolutely nobody in the vehicle? Because the cops said that there was a body in the vehicle and they actually done an autopsy on that body. So see, that's where this whole thing gets flipped around because I'm not sure exactly what he's saying here. So I guess you either believe there's a body in the vehicle and it was a trafficking, or there's a body in the vehicle and it was Kiely that basically went off into the water that was filmed by the fire cam footage. But guys, you cannot for sure say that was Kiely Rodni's car entering that water. Because like he said, it does pause all the way through its destination. And there's cars around her, guys, around this vehicle that entered the water. So whose car was this that entered the water? Was it Kiely Rodni's? You see, this whole thing does not make sense now. Because you could speculate all you want, but the cops still don't even know. Anyways, guys, let's jump right back into the video.
That they did indeed see Kiely hours after that we're led to believe she entered the water. But either of them situations go hand in hand with something that happens all the time across the US. This isn't a rarity. This wouldn't be the first time that this has ever happened. This is something that happens every single day in abundance, yet people are more willing to accept that a native girl, completely out of the blue, decided to drive home and drove herself into a reservoir. How many other people in the history of Truckee and the multitude of parties has driven themselves into that reservoir and perished? How many people have even driven into that reservoir and managed to escape? So a close experience in that water on that route. Do you believe that this was the first party that Kiely had ever been to? She'd never been here before. She'd never been drunk and driven that route before. Is that what you're believing? Is that what you're going with? Because I'm telling you, if you believe that there isn't more to this case, then you are naive. And this is completely my opinion, based on all of the information that's out there. And until I am satisfied that everything has been looked at and all of the questions that there are have been answered, I will continue to try my hardest to get these answers and to conclude this case. Because I feel at this stage, like I say, that this was not just an accident. I believe that either Kiely lost her life because she was trying to get away from someone because they were trying to take her, or she was taken away from that site and she would be returned there later. Or something more sinister.
Okay, guys, so there you have it. You remember the question I basically asked myself, or you guys, was there a body in the car or was there isn't? He actually verified what he was talking about. He was talking about Kiely Rodni actually getting trafficked or kidnapped, taken, and then, well, something happened and they replaced her back into the car that actually went off into the water. So basically he's saying the car may have been placed there too. Guys, it is very suspicious. Why is the car getting caught on the fire cam footage? Why didn't the cops look at this fire cam footage? Why is the car pausing through the whole track of its destination into the water? Where's the cars around it? They didn't even stop, guys. You mean to tell me they don't see a splash? They don't hear nothing? They don't hear no screaming? Where's the 200 to 300 people? Where's the pictures? Why was there older people there at this party? They said drugs. There you go. Kiely Rodni had autopsies done. She hardly had any drugs in her system. What happened to her? She just drove off into the water? I don't believe that, guys. Anyways, I'm going to jump out of here, guys. Remember, that is my opinion. This is his opinion. He shared it. Anyways, keep an open mind to this, guys. Love yourself, like yourself, be nothing but yourself. Like and subscribe to the channel. It's highly appreciated. Salute to Creek Squad, Red Rebel Nation. I love you guys. YouTube family, I love you guys also. Your boy Juice is out. Thank you guys.